Man, look at this go-go gas. What a fucking pleb. He's gonna make us lose.
Ah, what kind of tank is that anyway?
Okay, guys, just swing.
Well, 20 seconds to come up with a strat for a map I've never played with a team that hasn't trained against an enemy that beat us the last time we faced them at the ESL qualifiers. What could possibly go wrong? Quick rundown of the tank selection. We've gone for a basic hammer and anvil tactic. The IS-7s and T125 are there to hold the enemy's attention, pin them in place. The 50B, Batchat and Centurion are there to deliver damage quickly, and the T49 is there because we can't have another tier 10. What we need to do is force the enemy to fight our armor, rather than targeting our softer damage dealers, so that the autoloaders are free to move in, deliver damage, and then get out. Because of this, we need to plonk the heavily armoured heavies in a cap circle, so that the enemy cannot ignore them, and have the autoloaders in a position where they can intervene, and deliver damage to anyone trying to reset the cap. Now, because Cap Circle 2 is in an elevated position surrounded by impenetrable buildings, it's really hard to get supporting fire into it, so we're ignoring that one, and choosing instead to focus on Cap Circle number 1. Get the heavily armoured tanks there, draw the enemy out. As soon as we know where they are, the heavy frontal-facing armour will be pointed towards them. And once the enemy's committed to the attack, the autoloaders can swoop in, deal a shit ton of damage, and then swoop out to safety to reload. You'll see us taking our time taking a meandering path on the way to Cap Circle number 1 because we were sort of dithering. As I said, this was the first time I've ever played on this map, so it was still a bit of a learning experience. So we were completely unsure of where the attack would be coming from, and reluctant to set off that cap trigger and force the action until around about this point. The upswing of this, of course, is the fact that at this point all of our autoloaders are fully loaded, and ready to react as soon as we draw the enemy out. Unfortunately, the heavies are a bit too spread, so it's not going to be a solid 3-man capture from the get-go, so I wait up and let the others catch up a bit. And this was 100% down to my unsteady calling, but we rolled with that anyway. And you'll notice the enemy has showed up on the map. They are locking down Cap Circle number 2, so our choice to hit number 1 was of course a good one. And so with the cap started, things are about to get very busy very quickly. The job of the T125 and the I-7s is to sit here in the circle looking really important, giving the enemy an obvious target that they have to throw their tanks against, making their movements more predictable. The first victim is the enemy T125, who is reduced to practically no health by, I'm guessing, Flappy? The 50B is inbound trying to reset the cap. It has to reset the cap, only 15 seconds left on it, but they lose a tier 10 tank, a very important one, in doing so. The next order of business is to remove guns from play as quickly as possible, so take out the T125, which is on a sliver of health, and the tier 9 medium, which of course is going to have lower health than everything else in this field. And now we have to push forward quickly and get out of the cap circle because the AGN1 showed up behind us, and that is not something you want introduced to your butt. The enemy recognizes this and pushes out to hold us in place. This is the tipping point here, and we have to take out these heavies quickly. And that shot right there won the game. Killing the IS-7 allowed Conehead to escape on full health. The AGN1 wasted his shot on me, allowing Conehead and his IS-7 to get his frontal armor face towards the enemy while he's on full health, in a position where he was able to get rear shots into the IS-4. I would have died in short order even if the AGN1 had left it up to the E75 to kill me. So he picked the wrong target, and this sealed the fate for the enemy team. At this point it's largely academic. The enemy has 2 tanks that are very slow firing, whereas our team, with 4 vehicles, one of which can definitely take a hit, another which can deal an incredible amount of damage in a short amount of time, one that's fairly fast, and another that's at least got a decent rate of fire in the Centurion Action 10 there. We effectively hold the advantage. Now, the win could have been a little bit cleaner. Unfortunately, Paul did not realise the strength of the side armour on the AGN1 and managed to fluff 2 shots from his clip, allowing the Jaeger-Naut to finish Doc off, unfortunately. But now it's just an E75 on full health versus, well, now 2 tanks. But The advantage is still ours because the E75 was absolutely the wrong tank for the enemy to bring into this match. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the E75, it was my first tier 9, it is a fantastic vehicle, a brilliant pub stomper, but it is not an esports tank. The rate of fire is simply too low, the turret traverse is a bit of a letdown, and yeah, it's got a boatload of health and armor, but you can get around it, you can deal with it, and it just can't pump out enough damage to get the job done. He's going down swinging like an absolute rockstar, but he just can't do enough damage to kill the Batchat fast enough. The only thing that saved him is that we won by cap. So that was round 1. We used the cap circles to force the enemies to act, exposing themselves to fire, and ensuring that our fragile damage dealers were able to get away and reload safely. General principles that apply in any game of World of Tanks. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and play to them.